Hi everyone, I'm Council President Susan DeBaja for this edition of Meet Your Council, and today I'm at what I consider home, the south end of Dearborn, specifically Lapeer Park. So I grew up here, I lived here for about 20 years, and this place will always have a little piece of my heart. And I'm joined here today by one of my favorite individuals, Michael Shushanian, and he's with us today because we are actually having a ribbon cutting for the new sand volleyball, and I know Michael had a very important role in making this happen here at Lapeer Park. Michael, thank you so much for joining me.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Oh, absolutely. So Michael, tell me a little bit about this. How did this initiate? What happened?
So this came about by a club down here, a volleyball club named the Dearborn Sports Club, who wanted to do something for the community and improve their sand volleyball courts. So they set up a meeting with the commissioner and the recreation department and the mayor, and we facilitated a meeting down here and to see what type of improvements we could do. And we met with Mr. Warrenchuck, who gave us part of the millage for Wayne County, $20,000 to help bring this volleyball court up. And by having the meeting, seeing what the community down here wanted to do, we were able to get a plan, and we came up with 2 new courts and new posts, new nets, and sand and everything, so it was great.
Well, perfect. So I know you brought up a few things here. So number one, people often ask who paid for this. So you brought up that there was a Wayne County millage that Commissioner Warrenchuck was able to help secure for us?
Yeah, so the millage was from 2017, and it was $20,000 was allocated down here for the park improvements, which was the volleyball, and then the other $63,000 is going to go into the Levagood Comfort Station. It's a much-needed improvement, so we're going to hopefully work on those plans and get that up and running too. So.
Oh, perfect! I know people will be happy to hear that too. And so, and then remaining balance for funding this project came from the city itself, came through before City Council, something that we approved. Did the community have any input on this, or how did it work? Why did you make the decision for a volleyball? Was it always a volleyball park or something else?
Yeah, so there was originally one volleyball court that ran east and west. So we, getting the community involved and members that are always down here, we asked, what type of input would they have? And one of the designs was, the sun was constantly in their eye, so the other team had the advantage every time, so they didn't want to play. So we talked about, maybe rearranging it and turning it, and going to find out after we got information is that's the way it's supposed to be run, north and south. So that's why we were glad to have the community involvement to see how we could change things up and improve it.
Well, what a way to accommodate the community over here. That's really great. I know that Lapeer Park has seen quite a few or a number of renovations or transformations over the years. It's been a while since I've lived here, but I see quite a few things, and I'm down here very often. Can you talk a little bit about the things that you guys have done to improve Lapeer Park?
Yeah, some of the things we have done is we've upgraded the tennis courts and basketball courts, lining and striping of them. They look very nice. The company did a good job of doing that. Put a couple $1,000s into a new storage cage for the MYSA soccer club to store their goals. We've improved the wood chips to help bring the safety for the slides and the swings. And we just keep going. We just keep meeting with the people down here, and whatever we can get for them, we try. So.
Oh, it's perfect. It's perfect. Thank you so much for making it a better place for the community and something else to give them to come down here, especially during the summer months and spring months, and obviously the fall as well. And thanks, Michael, for all that you do.
Thank you, and thank you for your continued support with recreation. So without you guys, we couldn't do it.
No, my pleasure. Thank you. So with my hair blowing, I have joined with me is one of our Dearborn Parks and Recs Recreation Commissioners, Waleed Fadama. Thank you, Waleed, for joining me. So Waleed has been a Recreation Commissioner for the last year, and he was also involved in making the sand volleyball park or playground happen. Thank you so much, Waleed. What do you think this means for the community?
Well, I think it means a lot. First of all, they are already happy, and you see they are start playing on it, and they start playing from yesterday.
Okay.
They don't have no time to wait, and they already have a league. They have a league every year, but this is gonna be a league. They started from from yesterday, and they're playing every Sunday from 4 o'clock to 6 o'clock, sometimes to over there.
And they already have a lot of people signed up for this?
Oh yeah, we have in the team. Just they are signing for a team. We have almost eight teams from one team. And we have almost 70 members.
So tell me a little bit about your experience serving on the Recreation Commission, and what do you hope to see else done here in Lapeer Park or in other parks?
Well, I hope they expand the swim ball, and they make more bathrooms.
Okay.
And people for the soccer, they need some more things to go with it. And
So soccer and pool
yeah, soccer and ball and bathrooms.
and bathrooms.
Very important thing.
And I think those are the same types of suggestions that are shared throughout the city on other parts and stuff.
Well, from the time I was from last year, I was in the park and recreation. Like, there's a lot of people that think the city is not doing anything. But from that time, I've been there, and I see how much money we spend to make the city. It's beautiful, and we make the people is happy in the parks. I believe they are working so hard to make everybody happy, but we need a patient.
Definitely, and I think there's always room for improvement. People are always looking for something new, something better, and hopefully we can continue to do that with commissioners like yourself and funding hopefully in place. Again, this is Council President Susan DeBaja for this edition of Meet Your Council. Until next time, have a great week.
Hi, this is Mike Serini at this edition of Meet Your Council, and I know the summer is almost over, so we're joined with both our police chief and our fire chief for a special event going back to school called Shop with a Hero. So Chief Haddad, thanks for joining me this morning.
Thank you. It's a pleasure, and I appreciate you being here.
Oh, absolutely. I'm always an early guy. So is the chief for the fire department, Joe. Thanks for coming in this morning.
No, this is a great event. Happy to be here.
Yeah. You know, I really had asked a lot about this, and I seen it come across the council and the donations with Target and the partnership with our Target in Dearborn. And I know that the school has a lot to do with it too, on how kids were chosen and given this information and where they can get this ability to get what they need for school. So Chief, can you give us a little bit of information about that?
Yeah, we partnered up with our schools, and they identified the most needy of our kids, and they identify them, and we take them shopping this morning, and we get them off to the right step when they go back to school.
Yeah, and I know that the fire department is also involved as a joint effort, and I know we have a lot of charities going out, but this one here I think is important, and that's why I chose it, because there is some kids that they go to school and they don't have the right tools to do the job. So I know that that's a big important part of it, and the fact that we're participating and helping these children have the right tools so that they can get the job done is very important, Chief.
Oh, absolutely. And one of the things about our firefighters here is that they've always gone out of their way to assist the community. And that's really the kind of employees that we look for. We want people that are working for the fire department that want to give back to the community that provides a lot of opportunities for us, and to give back where we can is great.
Excellent. So I know that I think there might be a little challenge though, so I'm not sure, because these are grade school kids. So what if they want like some Air Jordan shoes or something? You gonna let them do that, Chief?
We do let them buy some clothing, a clothing item. Sometimes they need food at home, and
That's true.
We go to bat for them, and Target is an excellent partner. And we take a lot for granted. They usually want socks, underwear,
Wow.
toiletries.
Yeah.
And obviously school supplies.
Of course.
So whatever we can do, and although there tends to be a limit when we find an extra needy a family, both of our departments step up big time. And even after today, if we identify some need, we're going to take care of those families.
Yeah, that like the Chief has indicated, our community is always out there trying to do more and make sure that we can get our kids in the right position for the long term.
Absolutely. And this is just one of many efforts that the police and fire charities both work throughout the year. And this is a great effort to make sure that the kids of our community are prepared for school and give them the ability to succeed.
That's right. And then it's also, like you said, the police and fire also have an upcoming charity, I believe, softball game. Is that right, Chief?
Yeah, on the 22nd of September, I believe it's a Saturday, 2 o'clock. We're going to take on the fire department, and it's for both our police and fire charities.
Excellent.
And the entire community is invited. Although there's not an admission cost,
That's right.
donations are going to be accepted.
Yes.
And there'll be some good fun. I suggest we're going to beat the fire department. But it's all in good fun. There'll be no losers that day.
There's never a loser, never a loser. So what do you think about that? I mean, are you guys the underdog in this charity event?
If I was a betting man, I would put the money on the fire department, but that's all I'm going to say about that.
So I just wanted to make sure that we mentioned and thank Target. As I said, this came across the council agenda recently where Target donated 40 $100 gift cards, so $4,000 donated in order to help the children get back to school. And since we're talking about back to school, Chief, you know, I have younger kids still, and I know how it is when you're trying to drop off kids, and maybe you can give some tips to our residents near the local schools on some safety tips.
Yep. First of all, give yourself plenty of time, especially when the weather's bad. Don't triple park in front of the schools. Be cautious. Don't let our young people out in the middle of the street. Those are some of the worst violations. And we'll have a great, safe school year. And the other thing I want, look out for the crossing guards.
Yes, that's important.
It's so important. You know, they work for virtually nothing.
Yes.
And they're out there in the rain and in the snow 4 times a day, and they help our kids get across the street. So be respectful of them, look out for them, and make sure you pay attention at those corners.
Yeah, I can't agree with you enough, Chief. When I drop my children off, I see the crossing guards out there on Telegraph and Cherry Hill and all over the area. It's very important because you do have a sense of security, but I do appreciate the fact that we are taking a different approach, a more active approach, like you always have done, Chief. And I know that the fire department is always right around the corner, and I know that also, too, we have some issues regarding, you know, the fire safety.
Yeah, actually, as the summer winds down and the autumn starts, we go out every October, and we're going to be meeting with all the third graders within the city of Dearborn to go over fire safety, prevention. We'll also do a round with all the schools where our firefighters will go out and talk to all the different grade levels.
Thank you both for being here this early morning with me, and I really want to thank Target again for their contribution and their support. It is giving back, and it is important to the community. And when these kids see that, I mean, they don't forget this. I don't think they'll ever forget shopping with a policeman or a fireman, and I think it's important, and it makes them understand what they need to do. We got to get these kids down the aisles with their heroes, the firemen and the policemen, and get them what they need to get back to school and get back in the groove to educate themselves and becoming great productive citizens. Again, this is Mike Cerini at this edition of Meet Your Council.
Hello everyone, this is Councilman David Bazey on one of our hottest summer days in September, and that's a usual thing that seems to be happening every September now. Just as the kids get back in school, we heat it up out there for you. I have the pleasure today of having my 2 favorite Ericas with me. I have Erica Mitra, who runs the DMC Center for all the instructors here, and then I have Erica Light, who obviously is in charge of all of the things that happen here, good and bad, mostly good. So I want to thank them both for being with me, and we're really here today to talk about changes that are occurring at the Ford Performing Arts Center, which I always tell people is still the single greatest workout facility in this area, bar none. And those that I've gotten to join here after a period of time of being other places can't believe that they waited this long to be here. So as you know, I am kind of a workout fanatic, and these individuals I see with me in classes or teaching classes, and we're going to start out with Erica Mitra so we can talk a little bit about the new classes that we're offering here, why we did it, and what it means to you out there when you come and join.
One thing I absolutely love about the Ford Community Center is that we have some of the best instructors. We have a great team, Dave being one of them. Even I teach a couple classes, and we've been growing. So this fall, we are hiring on a few more instructors to help expand our program. And just starting this month, starting yesterday, we have several new classes on our schedule. So we have foam rolling, which is really great. You know, you get a good hard workout in, you have to stretch, you have to recover from your workout so you can get back in for the next one. That's on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 11:30 to 12. We've added more body sculpt classes because that's been in high demand. Some cardio interval classes and an extra Zumba class on the weekend. So we do plan on, you know, as we get more instructors, probably adding a few more evening classes.
And I think what happens is that we've had such great demand for our classes, and that's a positive and a negative. The positive is it allows us to do this expansion and bring more classes on. The negative has always been is when you get here and there's not a bike, or when you get here and there's no room in a class because it's maxed out from a capacity standpoint. And so these two, and I give them both a lot of credit, have done some investigation. So they now are working on a new app, and that app is going to roll out, and it's going to allow you to go on and register for classes so you'll know that you're in, and it gives you a time frame, and it gives you a time frame to cancel. And I'm going to let Erica talk more about it because she knows more about it than I do.
Absolutely. As Councilman has said, we've taken a look at our current registration system, which we realized was not working. We've listened to the concerns of all of our pass holders and patrons that come in for our classes. And so we found an app that we're hoping to roll out in the next 4 to 6 weeks. It's called Mind Body. It's a very simple app that can be uploaded on your cell phone or tablet or computer. And it will allow our pass holders or members to go online, register for a class in advance. It will show if a class is close to capacity or if it is full. It will also create a waiting list. And that waiting list, what's great about that is if someone decides or changes their mind about going to a class, they can cancel right there on the app, and it will open up a slot for someone that's waiting on the waiting list. It'll also help because you'll know if a class is full, you don't waste your time driving here and getting here and finding out that there is no bike available for you to get on. And so we're hoping with this new technology that it will ease some of the pain that we felt in the past with our current registration system. So we're excited about rolling it out. We think that it will help not only our instructors but our members as well. So it'll be a great new advancement for us here at the center.
These changes are going to make the center better, and it's going to make your experience better when you come here. And the first thing you have to do is come here and join. And when you join, you get a free assessment, a health assessment, you get a body assessment, and you get determination with great instructors and with great personnel like Erica here on what you really need and what you need to work on. And you kind of say, hey, this is where I want to get to, and this is where I want to go, and they'll set up a program for you. And then we've got, and I mean this wholeheartedly, this has been, of all the facilities I've been at, trained at, and worked at, best instructors, hand down as a group, are here. And whether it's in boot camp, whether it's in cycling, whether it's in body sculpt, whether you like to do step, whether you like to do Zumba, whether you do senior strength, senior chair, they're all here. And not to mention all the things that you've always been able to do here with probably the greatest pool from an indoor facility in the area, as well as this facility out here, which from a cleanliness standpoint is second to none. And people are always amazed at how clean this facility is, and I liken it to the attitude of the people that run it and the attention to detail that comes here. So hopefully you give it a chance. I think once you join, you'll never go anywhere else, and you'll find that this place is a home for many people that come here on a regular basis. And I want to thank both of you for spending an impromptu quick, because I didn't tell them, an impromptu quick meeting with me here and coming here. And so today, as you can see, nothing is scripted, which is the best way to do these because you get people talking from their knowledge base and from their heart and from what they believe in. And I know both of you believe in the center.
Absolutely.
And I know both of you are great for this community. And I welcome you on down. And as always, stay tuned to December when we do another little outing here where that is the time I give away a couple of memberships to a few seniors out there that have been reluctant to come in. And as I'm moving into that age, I'm more and more apt to try to do more and more for that senior population, especially those who want to lose weight like myself. So at the end of the day, I want to thank you all for paying attention to us during this small presentation. And I wish you'll come down here and also let you know that again, we continue to try to do what's best for our community by having the best center anywhere that can be found. Come on down, just walk around and check this out. So this is Councilman Bazzi. Enjoy the fall. It's going to cool off. So for those of you, this is my favorite time of year for fall football, high school football, all the things that this community has to offer, but make this part of your everyday. So Erica, thank you for spending a little time with me. And for you out there, this is Councilman Bazzi. Be safe, be careful. Kids are back in school. See you next time.
I'm Councilman Robert Abraham, and today I'm here with our Fire Chief Joe Murray and Rescue Randy. And here today, we're going to demonstrate some of the newest equipment that the City of Dearborn has purchased for our fire department, the automatic external defibrillator. And throughout the city, you're going to see this new equipment in a lot of public places. Chief, why don't you introduce this program to our viewers and tell us what they can expect to see.
Sure. Well, the AED program we've been doing for a number of years in the city, and we've kind of progressively been increasing the number of AEDs that we have available throughout city facilities. Some of the defibrillators that we have are approaching the end of their expected lifespan, about 10 years. So Council has recently approved monies to replace 25 of these machines, which we are currently doing right now.
So with 25 of these being deployed this year, and I think there's a plan for 25 more next year, and really the important part of the program, besides the equipment, is the training.
Sure.
Tell us a little bit about the training, both for our community and for city employees.
Sure. Well, one of the things we really focused on with this program is to get as many people trained as possible to use the AEDs. And these AEDs are pretty self-explanatory. They're for the layperson without any medical background. But it's good to be familiar with them before you would have to use one. So the fire department's made an effort now to provide classes for all city employees every quarter. We offer 6 classes every quarter for any city employee that wants to come and take the training can do so. And because we have the AEDs at most of these our city facilities, this is very useful. We also want the public to understand how to do CPR and how to use AEDs. So we also will go out to a lot of different public groups, organizations, neighborhood associations, and provide AED training for the general public as well upon request.
So with that, why don't you give us a demonstration of how this is going to work?
Sure. Well, these are the AED units that we currently have throughout the city, and you'll see them in marked boxes on the walls of different facilities, the rec center, the DISC, City Hall. So this is the life pack that we utilize. So what someone would do if they had to use this is that they'd take it out of the box on the wall, open it up, and in this case is going to be a set of pads and then an instruction card for the person that's utilizing it. So the instruction card and the pads themselves just say exactly where a person would put the pads. So it's right on the pad itself. So one pad always goes over the right chest, and one pad always goes under the left axillary area. Once we affix the pads to the patient, you want to obviously make sure the patient's not in any water or anything like that, anything that's conductive to electricity. But once the pads are on the patient, you take the machine and it's real simple. It's a real simple process. You hit the green on-off button. And what you'll hear is the machine will tell you that it's analyzing the patient's heart rhythm. And if it's in one of the 2 rhythms that are what we consider shockable